What's going on, guys? It's another video here on Shogun FC, and it's the one you've been waiting for. Just recently I was lucky enough to be invited down to Windsor to the Konami offices to play the first released build of PES 2017, and it's absolutely incredible. Over the course of this video and some other videos, I'm going to be going into detail about different parts of the game. We got to handle the core gameplay, and that's kind of what we'll be going through. But I'll go into different details so that the people who care about certain aspects can see that, and it means you don't have to watch through a really long video. I'll break it down into parts for you guys, but I'll do a general overview in this video right now. The first thing I'll say about this game is that it's definitely an improvement on 2016. I really enjoyed PES 2016, I still enjoy it, but the leap from the current game to what we played in Windsor is just ridiculous. When you consider that there's only a year's gap between one and the other, and they're on the same console with the same hardware and the same technical restrictions, what they've done with this game is absolutely brilliant. As you watch these videos and you watch other people's videos, I'll leave some links down to some really good ones in the description below. You'll see and come across the word balanced an awful lot, and that is exactly what this new game is. They've improved on things, they've made certain things more powerful, made a lot of things a lot more difficult as well, but not too far in either direction. It's still a fun game to play, but it requires skill to master. Goalkeepers have been improved massively. Nothing is carried over from the previous game. That was one of the major downsides of 2016, is that the goalkeepers were relatively easy to beat once you kind of figured out how they worked. That's not the same this time around. They've started completely from scratch. Nothing's been carried over. And the goalkeepers are absolutely fantastic, from their animations to their reactions to, I guess, the kind of randomness of it. And more importantly than anything, they're reliable. Passing has been revamped this time round, so is general gameplay really. Ball physics are a bit heavier, slower, but they make sense. And with the new features that have come into the game, like the first touches and that sort of thing, it makes sense and it's a lot more realistic. There'll be a little bit of a moment going from 16 to 17 and trying to adjust. It would probably take an average player a couple of games, maybe 3 games to get used to. But that's it, because while it's vastly different from the previous game, it's a lot more logical, it makes sense. And in your head, as someone who watches and maybe plays football, it's the way the game should feel. Last time was very attacking, very dynamic, and very quick as a result of that. You want kind of a little bit of a mindset into how they went about that and made that decision in 2016. There's an interview that I did with Adam. I'll drop that in a link below. Go and watch that, and that will kind of give you a bit of an insight into why that was like that. But this time around, they've gone the opposite direction. They've slowed things down, made the game a more tactical, technical, and skill-based experience. Speaking of tactics, the tactics engine has changed yet again. They brought back some great things from older generations, as well as implemented some new things as well. My favourite thing so far is the fact that you can change how you approach set pieces. So I enjoyed the fact that I could choose how I approach set pieces and have that kind of level of unpredictability in my gameplay, rather than just relying on having to do it in open play. Set pieces can actually be really dangerous this time, not because they're overpowered, but because there's some thought that goes into it and you can outwit your opponent, and they've got to try and do the same. You can also change your approach to the game on the fly, both with general and detailed tactical instructions. Anyone who played the old games will remember that you could hold the shoulder buttons, and you could change the attacking and defensive focus of your team just on the fly. You can decide that you want to go attacking, you can go gung-ho, you can go defensive, and you can put, everyone behind the ball, park the bus as they call it. That's back in this game, and it works well. You really feel the difference in that. And a couple of times it caught me out because I forgot just how much of an impact that has on your team's play. And I didn't think it would be as responsive as it was. And there were times when I was inviting pressure more than I thought I would. And there were times when I was leaving gaps at the back because I set my team to bomb forward. The same is true with the detailed instructions as well. You can change the way your team's kind of tactical mindset about the game is. Rather than just a case of, right, we're going to get forward as much as possible, we're going to get back. You can choose how the fullbacks react, for example. There's an instruction called overlapping fullbacks. Again, I'll go into all of this in a lot more detail in another video. But there's a tactical instruction where you can choose to have overlapping fullbacks. Something quite simple and easy to explain. Basically, your fullbacks, when you're on the attack, will absolutely blitz forward more than they would normally. So I chose to play with my beloved Arsenal. And we've got some pretty nippy fullbacks in Kieran Gibbs and Hector Bellerin. So they were absolutely blitzing forward. And it wasn't just quite blind in that sense where, you know, they bomb forward and everyone else attacks as they would. Other players start to get a bit more narrow, start to make different runs to allow for that space. There's dummy running, there's, you know, all within the space of that one instruction. And it's not something where you think, you know, oh, I wish the game didn't do that. It's stuff that makes sense that you would want. You know, if your fullbacks are bombing down the wing, you don't want people getting in their way. You want a couple of dummy runs inside to make that space in those channels. That's exactly what the game does. You can choose your team to set up for things like tiki-taka, you know, short pass and move. Players will get a bit more compact. They'll also move quickly off their passes as well. Try and create different angles, different bits of support. And we were given a kind of an interesting insight into the way they were going about building this game, because as you can see on the new football, there were triangles, and that's the new pattern. And that also plays a part into how they went about this game from a tactical mindset. Any tactical coach will tell you, find the triangles, make different passes, different runs, and triangles will appear on the pitch. That's exactly what they've done with this. And Adam was talking to us about it, and I assure you it's entirely deliberate. So for those of you who really enjoyed the days of tactical approaches on Pro Evolution, it's back. I can't believe I haven't mentioned the graphics yet. They are absolutely stunning. They're incredible. And again, it's massive credit to the team over in Japan, and a massive credit to the use of the Fox engine, which isn't a football game engine. It's, you know, what they use for Metal Gear and games like that. It's not meant for Pro Evolution, but they've used it in a way, and they seem to have unlocked the potential of that. And it's an ever-growing engine, but they've done so much with it this time around that, again, it's hard to believe that the jump between one game and another has happened on the same console. It's absolutely incredible. We were shown some faces, side-by-side faces. We saw De Gea. We've all seen the big Giroud face. We've also saw a Toni Kroos one and Philippe Coutinho. And bearing in mind that they redid a lot of the faces just a matter of weeks ago, and they looked absolutely brilliant, they're absolutely nothing on the new faces that we're going to get in PES 2017. But it's not just the faces and the player models that have improved, and they've really improved. The stadiums look better, the camera angles are absolutely brilliant. Replays play back from full speed all the way down. So there's a variety there. It looks good. The sorts of celebrations where the players will run to like the corner flag or run straight towards the camera and celebrate like that. The camera pans up a little bit, the way it normally would, so that you can see everyone rushing over. It's a bit more cinematic and it looks really good. There's another animation where they celebrate and it pans across the crowd, and the crowd looks a lot better this year. There are some celebrations where the crowd isn't quite as HD as you'd like. Still a bit blocky, but again, it's not the main focus of the game. It's something that I guess it's something that, you know, if we were being really picky, that's something we would like, is that, you know, the crowd is modelled the same way as the players are. But again, it's not a massive thing. But overall, the crowd looks a lot better. The stadium looks better. The ball physics are improved. The pitches, you can see the blades of grass. It's absolutely fantastic. The net physics are brilliant. There's net cameras as well. So if I was to take a shot from 25 yards and blast it and it ends up top bins, or if it nestles, you know, really kind of snappily into the bottom corner, the game will choose the right replay angles and it will show that one, and the ball will fly in towards the camera and it will shake it about with the net. The improvement is there. It's brilliant. There's so much to talk about. The referees are better. They call the right fouls. You can't cheat them either. You can't foul someone, step back, wait for the advantage to fade, and then be the first one to the ball again. There's none of that. The referees are smarter. They still allow you to be physical, but within reason. Again, it's all balanced, it's measured, it's deliberate. And all of these changes factor into the brilliant additions they've made. There are new attributes to players, there are new techniques, there are new animations, things like I say, the first touch animations on these, they make sense, they work, and they look really good. And they change from player to player. Someone like Coquelin, who's not bad on the ball, will be able to trap a ball relatively simply. If it's fizzed into his foot, he'll trap it, he'll touch it. He can drop his shoulder and take a man out of the game, find a bit of space for himself. Quite standardly. Then you'll get someone like Cazorla or Ozil, who are absolute masters of ball control, and the ball will be fizzed into them, or you can, ping a ball from, 50 yards away, and on the first touch you can absolutely kill 2 or 3 defenders, the way that they can do in real life. And, if you try and do that sort of thing with Coquelin or someone like Koscielny, yes, they're good on the ball, but there's limits, there's levels, and it's shown. So players like Cazorla and Ozil, who are really good players, but not necessarily physical or fast, they get their time to shine this year, because the game plays into their individual skills. It doesn't matter what sort of player you are, the game allows you to be good at what you're good at. You don't have to be a direct physical player the way you did for PES 2016. You had to play the way the game was built. This time the game plays around you. It adapts to the way you want to play. If you play passing, possession, patient football, you can succeed. If you play with a target man, you can succeed. If you want to play things out to the wings and switch wings and that sort of thing, you can succeed with whatever game style you use. You can switch it up during the game. The game allows you to do that. The game has mechanics built in to allow you to do that. It's really the complete football game. And this is going to sound like I'm so biased, but I really can't pick any major faults in this game at all. It's so good, and I can't wait for you guys to play the demo. I can't wait to be able to bring you some gameplay of this and show you just how much fun we had there. Right then, so that's going to be the end of this general video. My overall thoughts on this game. Gameplay, I would give it a solid, I'd say 10 out of 10. I told Adam and Asim, don't change a thing, so for me to say anything other than a 10 would be me lying to myself and lying to you guys. It really is the best, in terms of gameplay, the best football game we've ever had. Easily. In both the PES franchise and FIFA franchise. Gameplay is on point. Graphically, it's really solid again. I wouldn't say a 10 out of 10. There are some things that could still be improved. Camera angles have gone up massively. In terms of the on-pitch graphics, the menus, the interface, that sort of thing, really, really good. Some of the crowds are still a bit weird. The argument animations are also a bit weird and predictable as well. But other than that, I'm going to give the graphics and the visuals a very, very solid 9 out of 10. It really is just tiny, tiny details. So that's a 10 out of 10 for gameplay, a 9 out of 10 for graphics. Overall, that's a 9.5 out of 10 just on this gameplay that we've gone through. And I think we're in for something really, really special this year. I really can't wait for you guys to play it and give me your thoughts. I'm going to go into more detail in other videos. I'm going to be talking separately in detail about the general gameplay mechanics. I'm going to be talking about the tactical side of things. I'm going to be talking about the player attributes. I'm going to be talking about the controls. And I'm going to be talking about the general feel you get from the game. All in different videos. So if there are certain things that you really care about, I'll make a separate detailed video. So you don't have to watch me making an hour-long video talking about everything I experienced over, a good 6-8 hours of gameplay. I'm going to break it down for you guys in a way that's easy and simple for you to digest, and you can take in what you want. So if you've enjoyed this video and you're excited for the new PES game, give us a thumbs up, support the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be bringing you plenty of early access content. As much as I can give you guys, you will get. I'm so eager to give you this game. I'm so passionate about this. But subscribe for more content. I'm still going to be playing PES 2016 up until the day 2017 launches. So there's going to be plenty of gameplay as well once I'm done giving you these videos. Follow me on Twitter. I will have my social media links at the end of the video and in the description. And until next time, take care and peace.